Bad, unnecessary, and stupid endings are bad, unnecessary, and boy, this one was really stupid. I'm John Retlin with my review of WWE NXT, and this show was pretty good, for the most part. That ending kind of brought it down. There were a couple other things I didn't like, but as far as weekly NXT, since the whole Wednesday Night War has started, this is one of the better episodes, especially since the whole PC era has started. And in my opinion, just my opinion, the last 2 weeks of Dynamite have not been all that good, so NXT wouldn't have to have tried too hard to put on the better show. But I'm still glad that we're getting two primetime brands, Human Centipede together, just in lockstep, which match, which segment, which show overall can be better. And personally, there are positives and negatives, but I'm going to give you the positives and negatives in this show. So, we start off with Rhea versus Dakota. I like Rhea Ripley's blonde hair. I know some people don't. It's just my opinion. I can understand why some people don't. Change isn't all that bad, and I think she pulls it off just fine. And her and Dakota Kai had a good match. It was about, strikes and hair pulling and scissoring action and fisting. I believe I may have gone off topic here, but in all seriousness, these women actually cut a really good pace here. Dakota has really shined in this heel role, and Rhea's just goddamn impressive with her strength and her ability to sell and do some really good shit here. And this match, got a right amount of length. Since it was a contenders match, the winner would face Io Shirai at TakeOver XXX, the Pornhub edition. We got to see a pretty long match. Unfortunately, Mercedes Martinez attacked Rhea, and that caused Dakota to hit the GTK. Now, I was thinking Dakota was going to win. I don't mind a Mercedes versus Rhea program, but I'll get into why a little bit later. I'm not that big of a fan of it. I'm not necessarily sold on it, though I think the matches could be pretty damn good. So, we get Pat McAfee and Shawn Michaels talking. We're going to get Pat McAfee on commentary tonight. Hence the bad ending that we're going to get. Bronson Reed versus Shane Thorne, and Thorne kept repeatedly testing Reed's thickness. Have fun on seeing that. Thorne actually had some pretty good moves here, but Reed hit that tsunami splash. They might want to rename that, just saying, but Reed got the victory here. Not a bad match, and it was nice to see Thorne in another gimmick, and in the same bland gimmick. He is a good wrestler. He has not been the same since, TM61, the Mighty split up. You got Mikey Nichols. He's now doing good in New Japan, but I don't know. I think Shane Thorne's just going to be kind of where he is, just in, a basic storyline, a mid-card jobber at best, though he is a good talent. And Reed, they certainly have something with him. And then we get Fandango and Breeze arriving, and this kidnapping bullshit's continuing. Hooray! I didn't like it at first. I didn't like it when it went on for about 14 years, and I don't like it now. Fandango gets kidnapped and whatever. This is stupid. There's talent here, but it's stupid. And then Mercedes and the schlubs, and, Robert Stone, who actually could be an effective manager, but I just don't think he's very good in this role. And then Aaliyah, who is the NXT lifer and the NXT jobber. Yeah, why do they hate Rhea? Why? And nothing against her and Mercedes. I think they could have a killer best of 5, best of 7 series. But just latching Mercedes onto this Robert Stone brand, which is stupid. Managers aren't stupid, but this idea is stupid. It's not going to help Mercedes. I'm sorry, it's not going to. It's not going to give her any more personality. I think it's going to take away from her. Now we get Priest versus Lorcan versus Ridge Holland. 3-way contenders match. Winner gets into the 5-way ladder match. Hadn't seen much of Ridge Holland, mainly because I have not watched NXT UK religiously for a while. Or I have not watched it. I have not relished watching it. I'll just say that. So, just because I don't have time. That doesn't mean there isn't talent there. I love Tony Storm, Kelly, and a whole bunch of others. Piper Niven, and various other talents. Walter. Really hope these travel restrictions get lifted so we can see more of these talents. Maybe NXT UK can get back to producing shows. They aren't just best of. Anyway, Ridge Holland hit some good suplexes, some good tosses, and Priest is a goddamn star in the making. And Lorcan hit some nice strikes and everything, and eventually it was the reckoning 1, 2, 3. Priest got the victory, as he should have. And Lorcan took the pin. I kind of figured Lorcan was going to take the pin. And then we get Grimes versus Lee. This match is what I would like to call the Stand By Me formula. Hey, you guys want to see a dead body? Because Grimes got in some shots, and he was laying out Lee a few times, but there was no doubt that, Grimes was going to get absolutely destroyed. He got destroyed in the beginning and destroyed at the end with a bunch of clotheslines and the Spirit Bomb. Keith, restrained himself from using his BBC to keep down another man, and there we go. And so Grimes got laid out, and then suddenly Karrion Kross with the camera way too close to his face. I love Karrion Kross, but they need to stop having him with the camera so close to him. And he kills Danny Burch seemingly. Well, he chokes him out. He actually didn't, but he had he was foaming at the mouth and everything. Maybe he took Alka-Seltzer. I have no idea, but he beat him up, and we're going to get that match next week. So, Scarlett, by the way, also said some weird chanty, Gaelic stuff or Norwegian. I don't know what the fuck language she spoke. So anyway, we take over XXX cards so far. Io versus Dakota for the NXT Women's Championship. Lumis, Priest, Reed, and 2 others, except apparently Dexter Lumis suffered an ankle injury, so he is out. And we're getting another 3-way match next week. And then we're getting Gargano, Balor. We're getting guys that did not take the fall in the previous, Fatal 4 and the previous, 3 ways that is. And they're gonna have a match. It's gonna be 2 respective singles matches. They're kind of overcomplicating this when they really should just have made a 4-way. I mean, why not just go all insane? The whole point is I think Gargano and Balor are probably going to get into this match because you need a little more star power. All due respect to Priest and Reed, who I think are 2 up-and-coming stars. Lumis, I feel bad for Lumis, and I hope he recovers. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world that he's not going to be in this match because he could get a title shot eventually. And as long as he recovers, that's really what matters. He can get back up to the card pretty quickly. They seem to be high on him. These injuries happen, and hopefully he recovers. So, Legato del Fantasma. They bring Fandango to the ring. They beat up Breeze, and then Escobar calls out Swerve. That's it. It's not that I think that this trio doesn't have talent. I like Wild. I think Escobar's fine. I think Mendoza's also there, even though he has some ability. I just don't give a shit about this trio. I don't care one bit. Priest says that he will win a TakeOver XXX, the Pornhub edition, and then has a stare-down chat with Reed and says, hey, let's have a match next week. That's pretty much it. Tegan Knox versus Indy Hartwell. Well, there were some strikes and everything, and a shiniest wizard for 3. Indy Hartwell hit a few shots, but that was about it. And the knee to the mouth because McAfee joined commentary at this point. And then we get Kushida versus Grimes versus somebody next week. I don't know who the fuck we're going to get next week. A return? We're not going to get Swerve. We're going to get somebody. Maybe get Breeze. I don't know who the fuck they're going to put in there. Because that's going to be the 3rd slot, obviously, who's going to take Dexter Lumis' place. And then we get Priest versus Reed, Kross versus Burch next week. Undisputed Era versus Imperium tag team title match. And it's O'Reilly and Fish, so good to see O'Reilly back in the ring. Heavy hitting. Pat kept annoying commentary, so Beth eventually, I guess, left her Skype or Zoom call and decided not to be on commentary anymore. Cole got in McAfee's face because he could hear him from 20 feet away because, they're in the PC. They aren't really all that far away. And awkward stare down, standoff, everything. It's really, really weird. And then the European Bomb pins Fish 1, 2, 3. Because everybody's distracted. And apparently, holy shit, that's happening over there that we have nothing to do with. Let me get distracted. And I got pinned. And then McAfee's like, I'm going to leave. And then says that, Cole will just be, a tiny, itty-bitty, short little bitch. Itty-bitty, little, short man. If you have that song stuck in your head, I'm sorry. And then he lays out Cole. I have no desire to see Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole. I knew they were going to go that route. I have no interest in it. I know McAfee's a lifelong fan. I like his personality, but I think he should be restricted to kickoff panels. If they can make this work, they can make this work, but I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of it. I think that Cole deserves better than this, and obviously the Undisputed Era is going to get called up right after SummerSlam. Or at SummerSlam, they might hit Drew McIntyre and beat him up. I have no idea. It wasn't a bad show. The ending was kind of a bit of a downer, and there was a little bit of filler. But overall, not that bad of a show. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.